2021, will it be the year of alien disclosure? Well, a lot of people think so. I'm going to read you a couple articles and I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. Remember to smash the like button, subscribe, share it out, comment below, donate if you are so moved, and get ready for a quick deep dive on Waking Infinity News. Welcome back to Waking Infinity. I'm your host, Welcome back to Waking Infinity News. I'm your host, Ben Stewart, and today I'm going to be getting into a topic that starts really diving deeper into the direction of things that I would like to be talking about more. I mean, I love talking about psychedelics. I love talking about altered states of consciousness, the expansion of consciousness, pan-dimensional beings, what the future might hold. Really cool stuff rather than just talking about the Great Reset and the Dark Winter and all these things that are happening in politics and global affairs. So today what I want to get into is, you heard about the COVID-19 stimulus bill. Okay, I'm going to get into that, and Trump finally signed it. And that started a clock. And that clock is ticking down to 180 days from the time he signed it. The interesting thing about that clock is by the end of it, there must be disclosure from spy agencies on these unidentified aerial objects. So UFOs, basically. Does that mean aliens? This is what we have to really wonder. It could mean, some people say Russia, some people say China, some people say AI, some people just say advanced military technology, some people say it's us from the future coming back and warning us about a terrible calamity. Other Hollywood sci-fi storylines are cropping up, and the thing is we are being muddled by way too many options. So I'm just going to read you a couple articles. This one is from the New York Post. President Trump's signature on Sunday on the $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief and government funding bill started a 180-day countdown for the Pentagon and spy agencies to say what they know about UFOs. The provision received very little attention, in part because it wasn't included in the text of the 5,593-page legislation, but as a committee comment attached to the Annual Intelligence Authorization Act, which was rolled into the massive bill. The Senate Intelligence Committee, chaired by Senator Marco Rubio from Florida, said in the comment that it directs the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense and the heads of such other agencies, to submit a report within 180 days of the date of the enactment of the Act to the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committees on Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. The report must address observed airborne objects that have not been identified, and should include a detailed analysis of unidentified phenomena, data collected by A, geospatial intelligence, B, signals intelligence, C, human intelligence, and D, measurement and signals intelligence. The committee said the report must also contain a detailed analysis of data of the FBI, which was derived from investigations of intrusions of unidentified aerial phenomena data over restricted United States airspace, and an assessment of whether this unidentified aerial phenomena activity may be attributed to one or more foreign adversaries. Okay, so that is basically saying that it could be Russia, China, something of the like. Former Pentagon and legislative officials confirmed Tuesday to the publication The Debrief that the package begins the clock of the UFO disclosures. Defense Department spokesperson Sue Gao told the Post, "We are aware that the Senate Select Committee of Intelligence on Intelligence Committee report on the Intelligence Authorization Act," so word salad right there, for fiscal 2021 included a requirement for the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense, to submit a report on unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. They're not UFOs anymore, within 180 days of enactment. Spokesperson for Rubio, who pushed for the UFO or more UFO transparency, did not respond to the post's multiple requests for comment. The push for the more information follows the Pentagon's April publication of 3 Navy videos showing unidentified objects. Consequently, it's now fair to say that the request for an unclassified report on the UAP phenomenon enjoys the support of both parties in both houses of Congress, said Mellon, who is also a former staff director of the Senate Intelligence Committee. Assuming the executive branch honors this important request, the nation will at long last have an objective basis for assessing the validity of the issue and its national security implications. This is an extraordinary and long overdue opportunity. Mellon added, I'm hopeful the new administration, the Biden camp apparently, is what they're saying, will rigorously execute its oversight prerogatives because the concerns of the public and numerous U.S. military personnel have been ignored by a complacent national security bureaucracy for far too long. Nick Pope, who ran the UFO office of the UK's Ministry of Defence, told the Post, I welcome this move, which shows how seriously the phenomenon is being taken in the intelligence community. I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to say, for years and years and years, anyone who said anything about aliens, UFOs, abductions, anything surrounding this off-world or otherworldly, even pan-dimensional intelligence were called quacks. This is the pattern you'll always see. When there's brand new information or brand new ideas and concepts brought to the fore, most people who think they are very logical and think they're high information people, when they're truly not, the telltale sign is, what you're saying is ridiculous, you're a quack, you must have something wrong with your head. Even though you can hold down a logical conversation with them. And some people would say, well, what do you think about flat Earth? What do you think about no trees on flat Earth? That there used to be 2,000 to 5,000 foot tall trees on Earth made of silica, and they've all been cut down by ancient civilizations. Okay, yes, we as people can be very deluded by wanting to believe romantic ideas, and I'm not saying that those are, and I'm not saying that conventional history is correct because it's more logical. What I am saying is, for the most part, right now we're finally seeing, after decades and decades and decades of people on Coast to Coast AM with George Noory and Art Bell, these guys are just quacks. They're just people that are lonely and they want attention. Oh, look, there is a UFO office in the UK's Ministry of Defence. And now they're saying this is long overdue. Everything that I am telling you and I have been mentioning in my films for well over a decade, people like Alex Jones, David Icke, Michael Tessarian, I can go on and on and on, Jordan Maxwell, they've been talking about things along these lines for a very long time. And they're just, whatever, pseudoscience, conspiracy theory, quackery, just go away, stop. Oh, look, it's in the New York Post. Or, oh, look, it's finally being talked about by the Pentagon. Thank you, the source of all factual information. I know I'm getting a little bit, talking very sarcastically and speaking in these terms. It is kind of a pattern that I've been seeing for a very long time. So I have to point out that before I go on. So, Pope said that the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force is probably already drafting the report for DNI to send the Senate Intelligence Committee. Questions remain about what the report will say and how much can ever be made public, given the highly classified nature of some of the material. But this is a step in the right direction. Trump, as Commander-in-Chief, has brushed off questions about UFOs and possible alien life. He says, I'm not a believer, but I guess anything is possible. He said that in an interview last year. Well, do you remember not too many episodes ago, I was saying that there was an Israeli Space Force leader, ex-Space Force leader, that said Trump has been in contact with aliens. Not even just the Trump administration or the U.S., but Trump has been in contact with alien life that is now posted up at Mars. And so have the Israelis. They've been in contact, and that the aliens are saying, you guys aren't ready. You don't understand space and spaceships yet. And I stopped there. I pulled out my pipe and I started talking about, the phantom DNA experiment. And what is space? We think it's empty, and it's just that emptiness between me and you. But space is pregnant with opportunity and possibility, and we, a lot of the times, don't identify empty space as being the same phenomena as who we are. We think who we are stops at our skin because science has told us for that, for so long, and not really even science, the institutions of science. Remember, institutions of science basically just means what feeble and fallible and also very congregated, herd-thinking scientists or humans have done with theories of science, what some people call scientism. So as I'm taking you back into saying that this Israeli ex-Space Force leader is saying that Trump knew about it. So why wouldn't Trump just come on out? Are everyone in QAnon, are they wrong about Trump? Is he a liar? Or are we dealing with the nuances of we can't be told everything, right? It was even said in the article, there are certain things that the public is not going to be allowed to be privy to. There's certain information is so classified we're not allowed to know. Perhaps when Donald Trump says things like, I'm not a believer, but hey, anything is possible, perhaps that's him basically just saying, giving a wink at the news and the general public, saying, listen, I don't know if there's aliens. I don't really believe, but hey, anything is possible, right? You never really know nowadays. And you can even go all the way back to the 1970s where William Colby was the CIA director. And in a New York Times article in 1977, he said, we've been infiltrating other countries with fake news for quite some time. And yes, sometimes that news comes back here and our own reporters get it from overseas and they report it here as true news. And then what's the course of action there? Can't really say what news is fake. Why? Because then that would blow our cover overseas and also, blow the cover of the agents who are undercover over there feeding false information. So this is really interesting. We really need to dive deeper. And before I go much deeper into William Henry, who I think probably has some of the best information on this kind of stuff, here's what I want to say. When we're talking about AI and we're talking about advancing technology, could this unidentified aerial phenomena, right? Because it's not even objects. They're not even calling them objects anymore. They're calling them phenomena. So it went from unidentified flying objects. Now they're unidentified aerial phenomena. Could this be, there have been many people said that chemtrails create some kind of particulate in the air that you can project a hologram into. That the air, these things just kind of float in their own matrix, kind of like how clouds float in their own level of the atmosphere, and they just kind of stick there. And there's different names for the clouds as they go up into different densities of the atmosphere. So could it possibly be holographic, somehow projected imagery into the sky that is here to make us believe that 2021, oh my goodness, now there's finally disclosure, we can believe in aliens now. That could be a hijacking of the narrative. And this isn't saying that there's no such thing as aliens. This is just saying that how do you hijack a narrative to get everyone to believe a collective thing? Right now, I believe that everyone is believing that COVID-19 is this extremely dangerous thing that we need to use as an impetus, like Klaus Schwab is saying, we need to use this as an impetus to push ourselves into the Great Reset. So, do we need to use the pandemic as an impetus to push into the Great Reset? Does it have to mean that? Couldn't it mean something else? Well, here's what you have to do when you're peeling back the layers of media narrative. When they're finally saying, okay, now we're finally getting closer to full disclosure. They're aliens. We've been hiding it from you guys for a while. It's been so classified we haven't been able to tell you. But yes, now we can fully disclose there's aliens. Why are they doing that? They wouldn't just do it carte blanche with no idea what the full reaction is going to be. Of course they know what the reaction is going to be. Just like how companies roll out a product onto the market And they have already done their projections. This is the target market. We know how many people there are, just like ads on Facebook. We know how many of them there are. We know we have enough data on them to know how much they click and how much they actually buy, what net worth they are. All these data points where we can get a clue on who's going to buy it and what they're going to do from there. So why the disclosure in 2021? I'm not going to tell you here. I'll tell you on benjosephstewart.com, deeper dive. So who knows what this is going to mean? It's probably going to be pretty big. Knowing that 2020 has already gotten kind of big, 2021 is probably going to expand this. Everything that we've heard all the way down to the cyber attacks, which could be AI as well. You never really know. The cyber attacks may dwarf, this is out of Klaus Schwab's mouth, the cyber attacks could dwarf the pandemic. Well, I think disclosure in 2021 could also dwarf the pandemic. I really want to know what you guys think. I'm not going to go on and on. This is a little bit longer than I wanted to go, but this is 2021 disclosure. Who knows what it really means, but I will keep you guys as up to date as possible. If you want to hear my deeper dive, go over to benjosephstewart.com, and that's where I will really start laying it out for you. I want to say thank you guys for joining me so much. I really do appreciate all the support, all the comments. It's a crazy time of year. I'm trying to get to all of your comments and all of your wonderful emails asking to support. The best way that you can support, bar none, is to share this video out. It really helps the algorithms. When you share it out there, it starts increasing the ranking of this show. This is a very, very new show. It's not even fully 2 months old yet. Actually, it's, I think, 1 3/4. So to really grow this show, please hit that share button. Remember to hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. Post it on all your social media. And if you are in the position, please donate. But if you donate, please give me an idea of what you would like me to share on this show. I'm trying to branch it out into topics that will start to open the mind. That's the whole point of Waking Infinity, is to expand the mind, expand consciousness, so we can identify ourselves as not just being this thing, but also being the greater phenomena around us. I think that's where our highest human potential comes from. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Thank you guys for joining me so much. I'll catch you guys next time on Waking Infinity News.